At the state capitol today, a debate over education and what sex ed topics should be brought up in classrooms. Political reporter John Croman is live in St. Paul to explain what the sticking point is among lawmakers. John?
Well, Julie, we're talking about a $900 million education bill. Most of it deals with school funding and things like school safety and support services, things like that. But as you mentioned, they did spend several hours today debating the sexual education requirement that's in this bill.
Those are conversations that I need to control with my wife and to help them along.
And if this is something you're not comfortable with your own children, then definitely you can opt out.
The bill leaves it up to local school districts to design their own sex ed curriculum, but would require it to be medically accurate, age appropriate, cover anatomy, reproduction and development, consent, autonomy, and healthy relationships. Districts that don't want to make their own curriculum can use a model one from the State Department of Education, which has not been created yet.
Including relationships involving diverse sexual orientations and gender identities. That's not biology.
It is the responsibility of a school to teach biology, not to teach values and not to overextend what a family believes in.
How a sexually transmitted infection is transmitted is not a belief, it is a fact. Having sex gets you pregnant. It is not a belief, it is a fact.
This is Planned Parenthood's idea, and it's their agenda that's going to be shoved down your kids' throats.
There's no curriculum in this bill. The Minnesota legislature does not, and I would say should not, determine and direct curriculum. So there's no curriculum in this bill. There's no mention of Planned Parenthood either in this bill.
Now, the Republicans had one amendment that would allow entire school districts to opt out of sex ed. That one failed. They also had an amendment that would have barred outside instructors from coming into schools to teach the sex education classes. That one also failed in the DFL-controlled House. Now, that education bill is still being debated at this hour behind me here in the House chamber, but they have moved off the sex ed part of it for now, and they're talking about other things. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, John.